Don't play with it, don't play with it, don't play with it. Don't play with it.
Hey, what's up everybody? It's your girl Shira here, and yes, I am back with another video, y'all. So as you guys see by that thumbnail and that title, we are back, y'all, for Baddies Africa episode 6 recap, y'all. Here's the recap of the episode, y'all. So as you guys seen in the previous recaps, a lot has been going on with the ladies, and we're going to get straight into it because a lot has went down. So if you are a new subscriber, if you are new to my channel, hey, thank you guys so much for stopping by. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on that post notification bell so that way you are notified every time your girl post another video just like this one, y'all. And if you are a returning subscriber, I love you so much. Thank you for rocking with me yet again for another video, y'all. We're gonna jump straight into it. Here's episode 6, the recap, what went down, what happened, because it was a lot, y'all. So we're gonna get straight into it. So let's go, y'all. Here's episode 6, the recap. Let's do it. Okay, y'all, so here's where we left off at the brunch that the ladies had right after like that whole catastrophe that was at the book in the previous night. The ladies sat down at the brunch and kind of like hashing everything out, and of course it went up and stuff. I honestly feel like Dolly, she just want a moment, every little thing that somebody said that she didn't like, now all of a sudden she just got the balls to just jump on them, and I don't think it's necessary, but it's like all this season so far she's just been really weird. So I mean, that's just what she gonna be on. But these new girls, they are not playing, so like they on that in real life. But it's crazy, like the same bully type of thing she was complaining about earlier, like in the previous season, she's definitely on that now. So it's like, it's really weird to see, but that's where this is kind of like going. And of course it's not going to end well. Like food gets thrown all over the place, it's looking a mess. But like as you guys can see, Rolly, she's at the head table, she was trying to talk to them, but this brunch was just like terrible. Like after this it was like food everywhere. So yeah, that's what happened with that, y'all. And then a new baddie gets introduced. Here's Choco Brown, y'all. So she was looking cute. I loved her hair. And she brought that good energy. Like she was all smiles, she greeted the ladies, so it was definitely a good vibe for her in the beginning. Now as Choco comes in, she's saying like she's the true African queen and all this stuff, but LCK is not having it because she's from Africa also. So it's like, I mean, I don't know, LCK not really doing it for me, but I mean, we shall see as the season goes along, but she's not really doing it for me. So I mean, so far we shall see how Choco Brown kind of like handles everything with the ladies and all that other stuff, y'all. So fast forward, Natalie tells all the ladies that they're going to be doing a safari. So it's about time they're doing something fun, because like all the fighting and stuff, I'm just getting tired of it. I don't know about y'all, but I'm getting tired of it. And then right before the ladies kind of like disperse to get ready for the safari, K Rican and Dolly gets into it again. And K Rican feels like Dolly is just being a hater, being a bully, and that's true because that's what she's pretty much been given all season so far. So y'all drop in the comments like down below how y'all feeling about Choco Brown. Once again, like she came in with the good energy, but it's just been a lot like ever since day one with these girls. So like hopefully everybody can kind of like blend well, but you just never know what goes down in this house. You just really never know. So here in the next scene, y'all, Natalie and Diamond finally have their talk about why Diamond invited Anna to the club, knowing Natalie kicked her out and kicked her off the show. Me personally, I really think that was just a huge form of disrespect, because if your boss is literally telling you like this person is done, I don't care if that person may have wanted to be there or not, but it's like if tensions is high right now, that's just being really messy to just invite them to the event, because like what if they fought at the event? Then it would have been a bad look, So according to Natalie, like she felt really disrespected. I mean, anybody would feel disrespected, but she was saying like she was trying to be neutral, not really trying to really show her full colors, like as far as like being angry with the girls, because she don't want to just act out of character because they don't know how to control themselves. But I feel like she needs to step up as the CEO. Like whenever things are like all over the place, like you have to step in. You can't be the best friend and they sis and be cool with them all the time. Like sometimes you have to put on that CEO hat and sometimes you have to put on that friend hat. So I think she just really needs to focus on juggling everything together. So at the end of this conversation, y'all, they hug it out. Of course, I'm sick of these hug outs, because hugging it out and all that, I'm sick of it, because right after that they're gonna be beefing again. So I mean, they hugged it out, okay, cool. But then they came to a mutual understanding, like, listen, this should be the last time we beefing, or this should be the last incident that happens between us, because it shouldn't be that way. Like if Diamond is still gonna be working and stuff, she's still gonna be a a cast member, all this like beef or whatever's going on between them two, it has to die. Like, if you want to keep this go around, kill it. And here, right here, y'all, it's just like the pool. I love this Baddies Africa, y'all. I just want to show y'all this. I know, I just want to show you this. Don't look cute, y'all. Like, I love the setup. I love it. Okay, y'all. So they are on their way to the safari, y'all. So Rolly, she asked Choco Brown, like, how does she like, being in the house amongst the ladies? Like, just asking her what's her overall feel of everything. And Choco was saying, like, listen, I feel like I walked into a whole war zone. Like, it's a lot going on, and I don't blame her. And then I love the fact that, she made up her own, like, African Betty Shuttlecock. Like, it was cute. Like, I like that. I like the fact that you can come in and still be yourself. You don't have to change. Like, add like a little, fun little flair to it, and I like the way she did that. That was cute. Now, here on the other sprinter with the other set of ladies, Diamond, she kind of asked K Rican what exactly happened between her and Dolly. Like, she was asking her what was going on with that. She was telling the girls that Dolly had so much to say, especially about, DTB and about Ivory. Like, as far as like Dolly saying that, she beat Ivory up in that other fight, which was not true. And I'm gonna need these girls to stop lying saying you beat somebody up if you know you did. Like, I don't know what type of tough pill she took before the season started, but I don't know. Dolly has really been on one. So like K Rican, she was just breaking everything down, like how exactly the food fight kind of got started. But DTB, she been wanting a food fight for the longest time, even in the previous season. So the fact that one actually happened, I know she's satisfied. But yeah, like K Rican was even telling them that like Dolly was calling them all kinds of snakes, and like, remember in that other scene, the other episode when Dolly was, letting the girls know was what, trying to like school the girls in a way. But it's like, you got all the information wrong, girl. Like, it was just a lot. But now that they're beefing, K Rican is like emptying the clip, basically, like letting them know what's going on. Now, y'all, it was this part right here really got me, tripped up. So like, listen to the show. Listen to this. So on the other sprinter, they decided to like stop at a rest stop, and I believe this is Russian Cream. She's in the back of the sprinter, kind of like talking to Choco Brown. Now, she called herself trying to like school her on like what to expect as far as like the cameras and the production and all that kind of stuff. She was trying to insinuate that like, production kind of like edits out their stuff heavy and, makes it seem like one thing when it's not. You know how they do it, like when they get, in beefs and stuff like that, they want to say that production is doing all that behind the scene. Now, Rolly is in the front. I don't know if you guys can kind of see in this image, but she's in the front of the sprinter and she is hearing all this. So she's turning around like, why are you telling this new girl that? Like, y'all both are new to this. Like, Rolly has been doing baddies for a minute now, so it's like these new girls, like one of the new girls letting the other new girl, what's going on as far as production? Like, you're crossing boundaries, girl. You're doing too much. So Rolly checks her. She's like, why are you like telling her that? So Russian Cream is just saying, like, she was just, let her know, like, but Rolly was thinking that she was whispering low key, like trying to be sneaky with it. But according to Russian Cream, she wasn't trying to be sneaky. But girl, I feel like it's just not your place to let her know, even though you think you're doing the right thing. Don't. At least, if you want to talk to her, like, maybe off camera or like something like that, not on the sprinter when there's other girls on there. You just never know who's going to report what to who. So it's like, you just got to be careful. But I think overall, like, Rolly was really upset because for Russian Cream to be new, you're spreading false information to other new girls that are coming in the house. Like, you have to chill with that. Like, you gotta be careful with it. But of course, things get crazy. Like, Russian Cream, she really feels like Rolly just straight up don't like her. And she even asked Rolly, like, what, you don't like me, and Rolly was like, no, like, and Rolly started naming all the other baddies that she like, but she not really feeling Russian Cream because, she can kind of see the snakish ways, like the little whispering and stuff like that. She can see it from afar off. So, I mean, I understand, but let me know in the comments if y'all think Rolly was valid for feeling this way about Russian Cream. Let me know. Now, you already know things kind of escalate really quickly, but Rolly was just trying to overall let her know, like, listen, don't mislead the new girls because you are new yourself. So, like, girl, be careful with that. Here's the image of Rolly looking to the back. She's still like in heat. She's really upset about what's going on, y'all. I think it would definitely be better if like maybe production kind of breaks things down to them, like how things are being edited or whatever, so that way the ladies can get like a clear understanding of what's being, done as far as their work is being concerned. Now, I'm quite sure they do, but when you get on these cameras, these girls like bluffing, they like making stuff up, they like doing all that. So, I mean, I'm quite sure they have contracts and they have things in their contracts to kind of let them know like what's what and what's going to happen, what's not going to happen, what's allowed and what's not. But it's like, it's not for you to tell her that, Russian Cream. It's not for you to tell her that. So I think Rolly was valid, but did she go about it the wrong way? Yes, she went about it the wrong way, but she was valid, for standing up in that moment. As y'all see, Lex and Dolly, their face is killing me because it's like they just really didn't know what Rolly was going to do. Because when Rolly got up, everybody was getting scared, because the sprinters are not that big, y'all. So like all this fighting on the sprinter is just like crazy. All right, so in the next scene, y'all, they finally arrived to the safari, and it looks like so much fun, y'all. So one of the workers, they meet them with like a little, cute welcome drink. So it's a vibe from the get-go. Now this was the beauty I was waiting for, like nature within itself. Like you see the beautiful terrain, you see the elephants, you see, it's just like taking in God's creation. Like wow, like if I was there, I mean, I would shed a tear because that is beautiful to see. Now, Natalie, she briefly mentions the food fight that previously happened at the house, but she was just trying to figure out what exactly went down and who was gonna clean all that up because that was crazy. That was really crazy. So, y'all, first the ladies they see the elephants, the beautiful elephants, y'all. I think here is where like Big Lex, she shedded a few tears because listen, seeing that beauty in person, I know it had to have been like a full circle kind of moment, like you just in the moment kind of like, and like the emotions will flow, okay. But as she was saying her confessional, like she has never witnessed anything like this, so just to be there was just a blessing within itself. And I feel you, girl, I feel you, because I would have been crying too, okay. But y'all, like I really just like the fact that Natalie, even though like it's a lot of fighting and drama, all that stuff, that entertaining stuff, but it's like it's nothing like Natalie planning like a good outing for the girls. Yeah, they might be beefing, but like in settings like this, you see everybody is on the same kind of like they're on the same cart riding together through the safari. Like it's no issues, no beef, and it's like everybody is able to enjoy themselves, like so it's good to have moments like this, actually go on trips and do some activities to like maybe bond or maybe kind of understand why the person is the way they is, just kind of like unpack everything in an activity, stuff like that, so it's good that you have moments like this. Then here are the zebras, you guys. Zebras look so beautiful to me, like yes, here's the zebras. And then they was riding past like some rhinos. I know I would have been kind of scared, riding past a rhino, I would have been scared, but hey, here's the rhinos. And then they kind of took like a rest stop in the middle of like a lion's territory type of thing. So like these female lions, they're making their presence known, okay. And then the male lions eventually came out, but like the lions were not playing. Like they were trying to scope the scenery out, making sure like because we don't know who you are, you're coming in our territory trying to, I don't know if you're trying to attack us or what. So they look beautiful, but I would have been terrified, okay, terrified. But y'all, right after that, y'all, Natalie, she announces that the girls, they had like a booking later on that evening. Now y'all, here's where things, of course, they turn. Of course, after you having a good time, of course things gotta go south really fast. So here's what happened, y'all. So while Natalie talking, everybody, just chill, whatever, Rolly announces that she didn't want to ride in the sprinter that she rode on with, Russian Cream because of the incident that happened between them two. Now she's trying to explain herself, trying to explain to Natalie like why, like what happened on the way up to the safari. She's just trying to break everything down to Natalie, and Russian Cream is jumping on top of her, interjecting, saying what she wanted to say. So of course there's a lot of screaming going on. It goes up really quickly. So this girl is trying to make it known, like, listen, I am not afraid of you. Like, listen, we gotta fight. Like, I'm not scared of you, which is good for her, but it's like wrong place, wrong time, girl. Like, we just had an amazing time at the safari. Why here and why now? But they got a few rounds in. Of course, they fought, and I'm not gonna hold you. Rolly did her big one. Point blank period. I mean, that was kind of expected because there are two different weight classes. But I mean, don't sleep on the skinny ones now, like, because some of them can really throw hands for real. But in this case, nah, Rolly really mopped this girl, I'm telling you. But y'all, Naima even said it too, like you really have to be a tough skin type of person, because to fight somebody of that size, I mean, don't sleep on the skinny ones, but it's like, listen, I just feel like Rolly could have handled that situation much better. Even though she was wrong, Rolly was right for standing up for herself, as well as trying to figure out like what are you on, like why are you whispering to Choco back there. But it definitely could have been handled better from Rolly. But Russian Cream, you're wrong, and this is what happens when you do shiesty stuff like that. I'm sorry, y'all. So they go round after round. This time, this second round right here, Rolly, they fighting woo woo. Rolly grabs this girl's foot or her leg and like drops her and then like just completely finished her. I'm like, oh God, like Russian Cream, you should have known what you signed up for when you did what you did. But it's like it definitely was not that serious, like yes, she was wrong. Yes, Rolly was wrong for doing it the way she did it, but it's like it definitely wasn't this deep. Like, it wasn't that deep. Now, y'all, on their way back to the house, Russian Cream is explaining to some of the girls that are on this printer right here. She's telling them, like, listen, I respected Rolly, like, and Rolly was, somebody that I thought, that I was really cool with in the beginning, but she didn't want to fight Rolly at all. And then plus, she felt like the fight was unfair because of the different weight sizes. She honestly felt like Rolly kept bullying her, but I mean, so far, at least from what I'm seeing, Rolly wasn't bullying anybody in the season so far. Like, Rolly has been very chill. Now, this is like the first girl she really had issues with on the show, as for what we're seeing now, like in these episodes that we're watching. Now, we don't know what's going to happen later. I don't know. But Rolly has been very laid back, very chill, sitting cute, sitting pretty. Like, she haven't really been involved in that for real. Like, this is the first incident she has really been involved in. But for some reason, Russian feel like, Rolly was being like mean to her. And I get it because, I mean, you might have lost, I get it. But at the same time, it's like, don't do what you did. Like, hopefully she learned her lesson because Rolly really did her in. I'm sorry, she did. Now, on Rolly's sprinter, she's telling her girls, like, listen, I did not want to fight anybody this season. But every conversation she has had with Russian Cream, she was constantly saying slick stuff out of her mouth. So it was like, for Rolly, it was just a matter of time, basically. It was just a matter of time. Now, back on the other sprinter, y'all, Dolly, she makes a grand announcement, like, while they're at the booking, she's going to try her best to, like, be on her best behavior. I'm like, girl, how old are you? Like, are you 5? Like, it's a shame how, because I never thought she was this, like, childish, and I don't know, again, I don't know what tough pill she took before the season, but like, girl, like, it was just like her whole vibe this season is just like so whack to me. So she's announcing that she's gonna be on her best behavior. She's not gonna turn up, she's not gonna snatch mics or none of that. Like, girl, you too old to be acting like that. I'm sorry, too old. But other than that, y'all, like, the ladies are super excited to go out. Like, this is Choco's first night going out with the ladies, so she's excited, even though, it's been a lot going on in the house, but she's still excited to go out with the ladies. So we shall see how things, turn out at the booking. Now, on the other sprinter, like, the ladies are telling Diamond, like, Diamond, you have to share your room with Choco. Diamond is not trying to hear that because remember when Natalie was like walking Diamond, around to the different areas of the house, and then it was a special room like that was downstairs, the basement, like the lower part of the house, and Diamond was pretty much told that she can have that room to herself. Now, she was not told, like, Natalie, I feel like if you knew that Choco was coming, you should have let Diamond know from jump, like, hey, listen, you and a new baby that's coming, you guys will be sharing this room. Like, let her know. Don't just deliberately leave that information out. Literally tell this girl, like, listen, this room is yours, this is yours, this whole area is yours. It's like, I just don't get that. I think that's very snakish and very, sneaky and, conniving for you to just leave out certain information, certain points, knowing that this girl's going to be upset. And I think I don't know, maybe they have to leave stuff like that out just so it can make good TV, because Natalie already knows that Diamond's going to turn up. There's going to be a fight about it. They're going to be fighting over rooms. So it's like, that's kind of like the overall theme of these like different houses. Like, I just don't get it. These grown women, like, come on, this is not your actual house. So it's like, if you have to share a room, if it's 2 beds in there, like, rock it out. We don't have to be best friends, but like that. So you guys, they finally get to the house. Now, Diamond's already in her room. She didn't change her clothes. She's wearing something comfy. Next thing you know, Choco Brown and Dolly walks in. So according to Diamond, she felt like she was already on guard. Like, she was already with her guard up. She didn't know what to expect because Dolly is her op. So why is her op deliberately walking in? Now, Dolly said it herself that she walked Choco Brown to her room deliberately because she wanted to see Diamond's reaction and she wanted to fight Diamond. I think, again, that is very childish, very weird to me. Like, Dolly, she was never on this childish and weird stuff last season. I don't know what pill she took. Like, girl, like, what are you on? So like they get to fighting, they get to rumbling, it just goes up completely fast, like really fast. And next thing you know, while Diamond and Ivory is walking out the room, Diamond decides to hit Choco Brown too, just because she is standing there and because it was her room also. Like, what are you hitting her for? It's her room. You were told that this girl was staying in your room. You just didn't want to hear it. But it's like if Natalie is telling you later, even though she's wrong for telling you later, but it's like, what are you hitting her for? Like, she just coming to get her room. Dolly was the one that was on that messy type time. It was Dolly, so she got what she asked for. Choco Brown wasn't even involved, so it's like I just did not understand that weirdness at all. I did not understand it, y'all. Y'all drop in the comments if that was weird. If y'all thought that was valid or not, let me know. Now, y'all, of course, Choco is like livid because why would you sneak me? Because I'm trying to get my room. Like, that's any reason to put your hand on me, but since you want these problems, I'm gonna give you exactly what you're looking for, exactly what you asking for, Diamond. I'm gonna give it to you. So of course the ladies began fighting, but I like the fact that Choco, she was not scared. Listen, like, you want to hit me out of nowhere for what? You have no reason to hit me, so let me just give you what you're looking for. So they started fighting. Woo, woo, woo. That's what went down. Now, y'all, they went round after round, and I can say Choco is valid as far as her hands. I'm telling you, don't sleep on her because she has hands real. Like, she's not just a talker like some of these girls. She actually have hands to back it up, okay? Now, Tavy Baby, she comes in to kind of like see what exactly is going on. So she's looking confused, and Choco kind of like updated her on what happened. So what I like that she did, because Diamond was being weird with the room, so she was like, you know what, Choco, just bring your stuff in my room. We could just get ready in my room. Like, I think that, like, she's really a girl's girl, kind of like Ivory. But in this scenario right here, I didn't like the fact that Ivory literally like was laughing about the fact that Diamond hit Choco. Like, if you have to look at the bigger picture, not because Diamond is your friend. Like, aside from that, Diamond was definitely wrong for putting her hands on Choco Brown, because Choco was literally just getting her room. Like, that's all she did. She did nothing to Diamond. So I thought that was weird for her to laugh at that. But I like the fact that Tavy Baby kind of like stepped in that moment and kind of like, handled that with care. So fast forward, y'all, all the ladies are getting ready for the booking. As you guys can see, Ivory, she's rocking the blue. I like this blue on her. It's cute. So everybody's getting ready. They all looking good. Everybody's about to go out, period. So on the sprinter, Big Lex is asking like what exactly went down because she heard a lot of commotion. She was trying to figure out exactly what happened, like what happened in the house. So Choco Brown was telling her like, listen, like Diamond, she hit me for absolutely no reason, all because I was trying to get my room and she just snuck me. Like, so yeah, they fought a few times. But like, if you guys remember, Big Lex and Ivory, they fought before, like in the previous season, because of the whole room situation. So I feel like Natalie has to do better with these rooms because it's constantly going to be issues with that. Constantly. So like, here's where we can't really like see her eye, but on the way to the book, and she decided to wear glasses to kind of like hide it. But it's just unfortunate that her first night she literally had a messed up eye because of some hater. Period. Now on the other sprinter, like Diamond and Ivory, they laughing it up about the issue. Like, they laughing like it's a Kiki kind of moment. I'm like, that was really corny to me, but that's what they was doing. But Diamond, she kind of felt like, she was on high alert because her op is walking in with her so-called roommate, so she didn't know what they were on. So, which is understandable, which is valid, but to just fight her and then put your hands on Choco Brown, she had nothing to do with nothing. It was Dolly. Dolly was the one that was being messy in that moment, not Choco. It was Dolly. But she did make a valid point because she was saying like Dolly, she loves to sneak. That's what she does, and which is true. She does. So she just didn't know what they were on. She really didn't know. So she was just already on high alert from the get-go. But she had expressed like, listen, the situation definitely could have been handled because it wasn't that deep. It's just a room. But it was just the fact that her op came in with Choco. Like, but Choco, she didn't know. Like, this is literally her first night. She don't know what's going on. She don't know everybody's beefs and all that. So I feel like Dolly should have never did that because you put Choco in a bad spot. And now look at her eye. All because you wanted to be a child in the situation. Ain't that weird, y'all? That's weird. Now apparently like the ladies, they had issues off camera and like even before the season started because it was apparently like some type of like diss track that Dolly had made about DTB. So she already knew that eventually she would have to confront her about that or either fight her about that. So she knew it was coming up. So y'all, on the other sprinter, right, Dolly is trying to break down her and Diamond's fight literally play by play. She's trying to say that Dolly is anybody to be telling somebody that they can't stay in a room, in the same room she's staying in, which is true, because if you have to share a room, like share a room, like, but I feel like Natalie should not be rooming, like, two ladies that are beefing with each other together. Like, I think that's really messy. And I think the whole thing of like switching names on a door, like, that is so childish. Like, how childish can you be? Like, we are all here together to experience this thing together, but it's like a war zone. Like, you have to fight for your room, fight for food, fight for this, fight for that. It's like, it's a lot. It's really a lot. But Dolly, she definitely knew in that moment that Choco had nothing to do with that, and she knew for a fact what she was doing. So I think now that DTB knows that, I think Dolly should definitely get another beat down. I think, because I really couldn't tell who fought like well in that moment, because it was just a lot. It was falling all over the bed. It was just a lot. But in that moment, I think another round needs to be had for sure, because Dolly, you just need that. Like, who are you to be like being like, why? Just why? Like, I can't even break it down, y'all. I'm just like lost for words when it comes to this girl. Like, really. So like, fast forward, y'all. After they do like a little baby shot o'clock, they make their way to the booking, and here they are. They finally arrive to the booking, y'all. So y'all, the energy is really high. Natalie is on the mic, bigging everybody up. Everybody gets a chance to perform. It's just a vibe. So here is like a little, picture of like all the ladies kind of like partying together. Even though they had issues and stuff in the house, it was a lot going on. They're still able to go out and at the book and still be kind of professional. But, of course, like the mic throwing and all that stuff, or, snatching, whatever is going on. Like, that's just really unprofessional, y'all. But here they are together. They're a united front when they're out, which is good. Now, y'all, here's where things get interesting, because when Diamond gets on the mic, of course, she, performs the song that she has with Tinka. Now, y'all, remember when I told y'all that Cold Killer right here, like, she's trying to insinuate that Diamond and Tinka stole her song. So while Diamond is performing, like, this is, Cold Killer's face the whole time. I thought that was hilarious, because it's like, now girl, now just perform my song. Like, if that's the truth, y'all, according to this girl, it's the truth, but that's only if that's the truth. We don't know. Now, y'all, I thought this was funny because Rolly gets on the mic and she like, Diamond's song, like, that was Cold Killer's song, like, that was her song, like, right, she does this right before Cold Killer gets the mic. I thought that was hilarious, y'all, hilarious. But y'all, by the time Cold Killer got the mic, Diamond and Tinka, their song was like continuing to play. So I don't know if the DJ was trying to be smart or sneaky. I mean, I have no idea, but like, come on now, come on. So Cold Killer, she just felt like disrespected, in the moment, because like, where is my song? Like, this is not my song. Like, she tried to, be professional with it and like keep the energy high, keep it going, but I think that was deliberate. I really do. I think that was deliberate. Like, give that girl that mic back, because I know if her name is Cold Killer, that means she can really like, do her big one on that mic. So I want to know. I want to see what's going on, because I haven't heard none of her music. So y'all let me know if y'all heard it before. But I'm quite sure she would have ate that for sure. So everybody is just turning up, having a blast. Choco, she's having an amazing time. For her first night with the ladies, even though she did get into it before. Before going out, she did express how much of a dream come true this has been so far. She went from viewer to an actual baddie, so this is just a dream for her, and yeah, I'm glad that she was able to live it, period. Now, y'all, dun dun dun. The next day, y'all, so after everybody had so much fun the previous day, the episode continues. The next day, Tavy Baby and Elsie, remember, they were in the same room with Russian Cream, but the ladies wake up, they were beefing like from the jump. Now it's sad because they were once friends, but I think Elsie was still pressed to the fact that Tavy Baby wasn't cool with Cold Killer and Found and the rest of them, but Cold Killer had apparently dabbed Tavy Baby up. Like, she was kind of like giving her props, but LCK did not feel that. Like, she didn't like that, considering her friend was like dabbing up her enemy. So I definitely get it, like, because I would have felt away, but it's like, she's an adult. Like, what can you do in that moment? Like, just move on. Like, you feel like if somebody's being shady or weird, you don't have to be their friend. Like, y'all are literally co-workers. And that's what Tavy Baby was saying. Like, listen, like, we are co-workers. Listen, we don't have to be buddy, but you will respect me. And I think LCK really felt away about that. But y'all, they just started arguing, getting each other face. It was just a lot, y'all. So like, as the tensions was getting high, of course they started fighting. So Tavy Baby, she swung on her first, and they started like, mixing right after. So I thought this was hilarious because Scotty is, she came in the room to kind of like diffuse everything. She trying to separate them, get everybody calm, but it was just a lot. Like tensions was just really high. Now Tavy Baby, she makes her way downstairs to kind of like explain to the other ladies what's going on. Her and Ivory, they went downstairs, and now she met all the ladies in the kitchen that was there. Now she's sitting here screaming to the top of her lungs, and Cold Killer just looking at her like, shorty, is you cool? Like, what's going on? Like, why are you screaming? Why are you screaming? It's too early. But y'all, all in all, like Tavy Baby was like really upset because she was trying to explain that, she was like, giving her daps, giving her props, Cold Killer, giving her props, and Cold Killer was looking at her like that never happened. Like, I never hugged you, never shook your hand, none of that. Like, that never happened. So I'm confused on like, did it happen or did it not? Like, if my enemy give me my props, like that's okay. Like, we can give each other props, but we ain't friends. But I'm not gonna deny that either, like y'all. And then of course I'm gonna put like a little sticker right here because her boobies was out. I'm like, girl, like pull up your shirt. But this girl, she has had enough. LCK has had enough. After all that fighting, Scotty is trying to calm her down, all that stuff, but then she just screaming at the wrong people. She's telling people to get out of her face, like, why are y'all in her face? And Scotty like, listen, I don't have to be in here to help you out. Like, I feel like Scotty is one of the ones that is really neutral, like amongst the girls. Like, she's just trying to make sure that everybody gets a chance to experience her, and vice versa, so that way it's just not biased all the time, like OG versus new G kind of like idea. Fast forward y'all back downstairs. Of course, a whole bunch of screaming and going on. Tavy Baby is really upset the fact that, according to her, Cold Killer is just denying the fact that ever happened at the club. But we will never know until we, continue watching, and hopefully the truth will be revealed. But we just don't know. It's just a lot of screaming going on. But she just like really upset at the fact that like this girl is just straight up gonna deny it. But Cold Killer is like, that has never happened. Like, you're bluffing. Like, why are you trying to not cop please, but because she has called her out again. But it's like, I feel like if she did it, okay. If she didn't, okay. Like, I don't understand what are the screaming right here is going on. Like, I don't understand this right here. I really don't. But of course, as tensions, of course, getting high, then they started fighting, they started throwing food. It just really went up. It got nasty really quick. And then y'all, the episode ends, and then we get like a little sneak peek of what happens in episode 7, y'all. So let's exactly see what went down. So y'all, both fights continue. It's just a lot going on. Like, it's just a lot of screaming, a lot of argument. It's just getting really nasty with these girls really quickly, and it's like a lot of anger. Like, it's just a lot going on. And then Scotty and Rolly, they're updating Natalie on what's going on in the house, and Natalie is letting them know that they're going to go wine tasting. So that's the next kind of like fun event that these girls will be able to witness and to do. So Rolly tells the girls that she feels like somebody deserves a chain. I guess a few girls that deserve chains, so now this whole chain conversation is coming up now. I'm like, oh my god, they need to just kill this whole chain thing. Like, they need to kill it because it's just like a lot with these chains. So the ladies finally go to the wine tasting event, and this is what happened, y'all. So Diamond and Dolly, they get into it about their incident in the room, like what went down. Of course, some words were further exchanged, and Natalie, she kind of tells them like, listen, y'all are supposed to be the examples for these newer baddies, and it's not giving that. It's not giving boss baddie. It's giving like clout chasing baddie and bully baddie. That's what it's giving. Then tensions are really heating up out there with the other rest of the ladies, and like Tavy Baby and Kill Killer, they're getting ready to chew each other's head off, and it's just a lot of arguing even with them, y'all. Next thing you know, Choco Brown and K Rican, they gets up, trying to have somewhat of a square up. I didn't know what this was, but K Rican was just doing the most, asking like who got a problem with. It was just a lot. It was just a lot in this scene. So Choco Brown like, oh, you want to fight me? Like, she with it. So she with it. Then Cold Killer and Tavy Baby finally have their one-on-one fight, and as you guys can see, since she's kind of smaller than Tavy Baby, she's using like her karate moves that she has learned. But like, girl, we see your panties. Next thing you know, K Rican decides to pull Russian Cream's wig. Like, it was just a lot. Like, girls that I had an issue with. Even though we cool, we had like a little kumbaya moment. We might have had, some activities and stuff, but I'ma still be angry. I'ma still be mad and bitter. So now I'ma just rip your wig off. That's what it's giving. Like, that's what it's giving. Even though some of these girls really didn't have no kumbaya moment, some of them did, some of them didn't. But it's like, because I had an issue with you before, now is my moment to want to do the most now. Like, Even though I wasn't paying you any type of mind all day long, even the previous day, now I want to now bother you. Like, it's just weird, really weird. And then K Rican and Choco Brown, they get into it. Of course, it kind of started inside, but then it finished outside. And y'all, that pretty much was it for this episode. I know it was a lot of drama, it was a lot of screaming, a lot of fights, but also like the ladies were able to experience the safari. So, you know, kudos to Natalie for that. And then also the wine tasting, we will get a chance to see that in episode 7. But y'all, this episode, it really went up with some of the girls. Like some of these newer girls, my personal opinion, I do like a few of them. Like I like Fauna, I like, you know, Cold Killer, I like Tavy Baby. You know, it's a few of the new girls I do like. I feel like some of the older, you know, baddies, I feel like they can step up more. You know, Scotty is down making her presence known, which is good. But it's like some of them are just too quiet for me. I mean, I don't know. Haven't really heard too much from Pretty P so far. Here it is, about to be episode 7. So I don't know if she better do something. You know, even though her and Summer had their issues, but now that Summer is not even going to be on the show for the next few seasons or the next few, not seasons, but episodes, you know, like besides from the summer drama, like we haven't really heard too much from PP. So it's like I'm gonna need some of these girls to kind of like step it up, step it up, step it up. But y'all, that concludes this episode 6 for the Baddies Africa recap, y'all. I'm gonna be uploading episode 7 pretty soon after I finish uploading this one. Also, like, just be in tune because a lot has been going on with these girls. I had said I was gonna stop watching this season because it was just a lot. I was just getting really like tired of all the fighting. I'm not even old, y'all. But you know, I have to commit because you just never know what may happen later on in the season. And I hope these girls can really turn it around because this start to the season is really like they coming in strong. They are really coming in strong. Some of the OGs, they're not really doing too much, but like these new girls are coming in strong. So, I mean, hopefully it's not like them thinking they have to like overdo and like overprove themselves. But I mean, we just never know how it ends. We just never know. But you guys, I really do appreciate y'all tuning in to these recaps, y'all. I'm telling y'all, I just want to get better and better and better. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to your girl's channel. And as always, put on that post notification bell so that way you are notified every time your girl posts another video just like this one, y'all. I love y'all so much. Thank y'all so much for loving on me as I love on y'all. And I will see y'all in the next video, y'all. So peace out. See y'all in episode 7, y'all, because I got y'all. Peace out, y'all. Mwah.
Hope you're happy now.